Today we're going to take a look at the Pacific Kaiju NPC pack. So what is the Pacific Kaiju NPC pack? Well, it's an expansion to the Stomping Kaiju NPC pack that we saw before. In fact, I'll put that video in the top right corner if you want to check it out. I'm going to do something a little bit differently in today's video, so let me know what you guys think. First up, we have Godzilla 2014, and this is the Godzilla from, well, the movie Godzilla that came out in 2014. He's got 1.8 million health, and he has a plethora of different attacks that we're going to get into right now. So first things first, we got to talk about his distinctive and signature move, the Atomic Breath. And that's going to be the first attack that he has. I mean, you can't have Godzilla without this. And then next up, he also has a myriad of different melee attacks, whether it be a tail swipe, or of course, a big boy headbutt. And something that's going to be synonymous with all these NPCs is they all have big Goliath-like roars, because you cannot have a kaiju without a monstrous roar. Now, of course, in practice, you're going to probably get your ass kicked by Godzilla, but it's still pretty cool to have the 2014 version here, and we're actually about to eat an atomic breath. Oh yeah, gotta love that. So this Godzilla's pretty damn formidable. That tail attack is either going to kill you or send you across the map. He's also got that headbutt or bite move. And of course, if that's not enough, then he can just atomic breath you from across the map anyway. And next up, we have Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim. This is the remastered version, unlike the one from the last pack. Of course, he is from the movie Pacific Rim, and he's got almost 800,000 health on deck. His attacks include a plethora of different melee attacks, whether it be a single punch, or of course a double hand slam. And we can't forget the fact that he does indeed have blades to use too. And if that's not enough, he can also leap. Unlike a lot of these other NPCs, this giant can jump. And for ranged attacks, of course, he's got his energy blast, just like the old one. And of course, can't forget the taunt. Overall, an awesome NPC with a bunch of different attacks to take on any threat, whether big or small. I would definitely say this is a huge improvement over the previous one in the Stomping Kaiju pack. And next up, we got the Beefy Boy, also known as Doug. This one doesn't have an official name. It's called a bunch of different things throughout different types of media, whether it's the movies, books, you name it. It seems like this guy always has a different name, but we call him Doug, and he might have a measly 99,000 health, but he makes up for that with big girth. This is a big chonky boy, and he might not be as strong as Godzilla, but you know what? I love him still the same. His attacks include a plethora of different chomp attacks. Also can't forget the big boy slam, and of course, the mighty death roll. Now in terms of features, this guy is definitely missing in some of those departments. I believe he has the least amount of attacks, but of course that mighty roar more than makes up for it. Plus, I mean, just look at him. He's so precious. And of course, we cannot forget his acid breath, which I gotta admit looks a little weird. Now, it's kind of funny because through the cameras, he looks pretty small, but in person, he's still freaking gargantuan. So let's let Doug loose and let's see what he's really made of. You're gonna notice right away that I regret my decision. The mighty roar is just a sign of things to come. We could do as much damage as we wanted, but it's not gonna matter because he has a good healing factor, and if we didn't have God mode, we would be absolutely, well, crushed. Next up, we got Knifehead. Now, Knifehead is the first enemy we've seen from Pacific Rim. With almost 800,000 health, this beefy shark-looking dude definitely packs a punch, and we're going to take a look at his attacks to see if they live up to the massive size of his form. So of course you're going to have your standard slash attacks, with a few head slam attacks thrown in for good measure, and of course cannot forget the mighty roar. Now I noticed that this NPC has a few more basic attacks than your standard kaiju, but I also noticed he doesn't really have a whole lot of special attacks. Still, nonetheless, a really cool NPC, and obviously just absolutely massive in size. I definitely would not want to go up against this thing. It's got a ton of attacks to throw you across the map, and if you're using standard weapons, I mean, let's be honest, there's no hope for you. And last up, we have Space Godzilla. Who in their right mind invented this thing? Space Godzilla first appeared in, well, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. And he's got, you're not going to believe this, a whopping 100 million health. So, yeah, try to just take that in. He's got a bunch of different attacks, whether it be tail swipes, or of course a few chomps thrown in. Now, of course, we can't forget one of his main abilities, which is the fact that he summons ice glaciers around him. And I'm just going to tell you firsthand, you do not want to be around these things when he spawns them. And of course, we cannot forget the mighty roar. And of course, we have literal beams of energy coming out of the crystals on his shoulders. I don't even know how that makes sense, but this dude is another level of badass. But we also got the basic mouth blast or atomic breath as well. So when it comes to Space Godzilla, he is definitely above and beyond the most formidable boss in this entire pack. Not just because of his crazy health, but also his immense amount of attacks. Whether it's those giant ice shards that honestly do crazy amounts of damage when you get near them. Like, look at this. If I didn't have God mode on, I'd be hella dead. But of course, he's also got his own atomic breath and apparently atomic shoulders? Honestly, this NPC is so wild, it's kind of making me glitch through the map a little bit. Oh, and of course, we can't forget the most important feature. We got fog lights. That's right. Press F and you turn on lights. Something else that's also funny is, well, you can press G and you'll explode in 60 seconds. Alright, so this might be the longest minute of my life. Or it doesn't happen when you stop possessing him. Now, it's important to note that the NPC cannot do this naturally. You can only activate self-destruct when you possess him. And to end the video off, guys, we're gonna see which one in this pack is the strongest in an all-out free-for-all battle royale. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please let me know what you thought about it down below. This is going to be pretty interesting indeed. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the match, and until next time, farewell. So the winner is Space Godzilla. Also, I forgot to mention that Gypsy Danger can have parts of his body be removed forcibly. As we can see, his arms were completely destroyed, so that's a really cool feature. Space Godzilla is definitely your victor. As always, guys, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and until next time, this time for real, thanks for watching, and farewell.